Hey everybody, my name's Furgotti, and today I'm doing an interesting little video. I'm building a PC. So a little bit of context. So I have a friend who is part of the YouTube crew, and he unfortunately does not have a PC. He has an Xbox, and it's not as good as, a PC. So I felt bad for him. So currently at time of recording this, I'm building him a PC, and I'm going to be shipping it to him possibly, or delivering it to him myself. Maybe not. We'll find out about that. But currently, I'm building a PC for him because, I felt bad for him. He's been through a lot in his life. He's been through a lot more than most people have. And I felt bad for him, and I wanted to make this video for three reasons. Just hang out and talk, educate people on how to build a PC who might be struggling to build a PC, and also this is for him. It's kind of like a manual as to how his PC works, how it's like built, everything like that. So if he ever has to troubleshoot or dismantle parts, he has an understanding as to how to do it without like problems, because he's built PCs before, but not like this, and PCs have evolved over time. So yeah, so that's why I'm doing this. So let's begin. Let's quickly grab all the equipment. Okay, I got my handy dandy toolbox with all my screws, my toolkit. We got a can of air already. Let me put the stuff that I'm going to be using on the corner. Okay, this is the motherboard and CPU that I'm going to be using. This motherboard is an MSI B series motherboard. It's a pretty fairly decent motherboard. The reason why I'm using a B series is this used to be my old motherboard. So pretty much out of sheer just RNG luck with giveaways and other stuff, I was able to upgrade my PC after upgrading it. So I only used this setup for like a few months before I was able to immediately heavily upgrade my computer. So I'm kind of giving my friend a starter build, because the problem with PC building is you have to save up, and you have to like really be like, you have to save up, and then you have to like slowly build over time, or buy it all in bulk and build it at once. And that's kind of difficult because time is, time. You don't get that time back. And B, PC builds are expensive as hell. They're expensive as all hell. So I'm kind of just getting rid of the entire middleman and just building him a computer that he can slowly build over time, because now that he has an actual solid computer, he can build it over time. He can get a motherboard, switch out the motherboard, he can get it. So having a computer already built would be beneficial for him. And the CPU that we're going to be using is a Intel i5 12600KF, so it's 12th gen. So we're just going to put it in here, put it in the middle, be very gentle about that. Okay, there we go. One thing about PCs, whenever you're buying a motherboard, always check the pins to see that they're perfectly aligned and not bent, so that you always have perfect contact with the CPU and the pins. For me, I don't have to worry about that. I take care of my stuff very like perfectly, and always make sure that everything's always protected. And I also checked and looked at them. All the pins are perfectly in place. So when building a computer, you want to like make sure to put as much stuff onto the motherboard as much as possible before you like put it all together. So that's what we're currently doing. So I'm going to be giving him a Thermal Grizzly contact frame, a good contact frame that like will create even distribution of pressure. Now let me quickly find the screws in my screw box. Oh my god, this is the problem with having too many screws in a screw box. Screws in a screw box. I got tongue-tied. You can kind of misplace them when there's too many screws. But yeah, I'm kind of happy that I'm actually building my friend a gaming computer. Like, it's nice. It's a nice thing that I'm doing for him, because he's a good guy. He's been through a lot in his life. He's been through so much just horrible stuff. And I feel really bad for him. Like, a lot of people would not expect how bad his life has been, and like I feel bad for him, and I want to like give him a nice decent PC that will probably like make him smile or make him happy. And if it doesn't, or only gives a small fraction of joy to him, still that's something. That's better than nothing. And I'm not a good person per se. I wouldn't say that I'm a good person, but I try my hardest to be a good person. So this is me trying to, you know, be a good person. Do something nice for someone who deserves it, who's been through a lot, has been screwed over by like so many people in his life. It's nice for him to know that there's like still good people in this world that will like help him out and help people when they're need it. Damn it, this screw. Oh my god, this screw. Oh my god, this screw is pissing me off. Okay, there we go. Okay, I have all the screws now for the contact frame. I would say this is kind of overkill having a contact frame, but at the same time, a contact frame is really good because it creates like even pressure and distribution. Always align the holes with the contact frame. You need a special tool for a contact frame sometimes because the screws are different. Like these screws are like the star type, so you don't do that. So you don't use like a regular like 4x4 or whatever they're called. Not a tool guy, I don't know my tool lingo. Always evenly distribute. Always screw in the opposite whenever you're screwing. So always screw here to here, there to there. And never tighten it. Always distribute the like weight and everything. Okay. Ugh, it's always a nightmare. Okay. Now we can start like slowly tightening these one by one. You can slowly start to tighten these. The hell is that? I just noticed that. There's like a weird line on my motherboard. I'm also going to make sure to fully like clean the CPU because I see a little bit of thermal paste residue. Yeah, if your CPU is not brand new and has thermal paste residue, always clean that. You don't want extra gunk on that. Even distribution. Never tighten too tight. Never tighten too tight. Only tighten it enough that it's like snug and there's like a little bit of giveaway because you don't want to like break it. Now look at that. Look at that. Look how beautiful it is. It's an all black build. It's kind of an all black and white build. Sorry if the camera shakes a little bit. The camera's attached to the table and the table is kind of like this wheelie one. Okay, so now we'll kind of clean off the last bit of like thermal paste that's on the thing because yeah, a little bit of residue. I don't like that. I really don't like residue. Okay, dust it off. You always want to see what type of CPU it is and see if it's dual channel or quad channel RAM capabilities. For this specific type of CPU, you can look it up on the internet and it will state that it's a dual channel. So since it's dual channel, not quad channel, you can only use 2 lanes, not the entire lane system of RAM. So for this, we're going to be using 32 gigs of DDR4 Corsair Vengeance. Really decent. Look at that. Look at that. That's a beautiful. That is beautiful. Beautiful RAM. DDR5 Corsair Vengeance. Let me make sure to blow out any dust or anything. Just blow out all that dust just in case. So whenever it's dual, so since it's dual channel, you slot it. Let me make sure it's the right way. Nope, it's the wrong way. You want to slot the Corsair Vengeances into the 2nd and 4th slot if it's dual channel. You never want to slot it into the 1st and 3rd. I used to do that. That used to be the old system, but not anymore. I even have a friend who recently upgraded his computer, and he thought that that was wrong, but no, even I thought it was wrong at first. So what you have to do is you have to apply pressure equally until you hear that click, until you can hear that click of the RAM just snapping in. And there you go. There you go. Perfect. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's slowly being built. Okay. So motherboard's done. We've put as much as we possibly can. I might actually put on also the frame for the fan, because what I'm going to be using is a air cooler, not a liquid cooler, because I don't trust it for his setup. He can get a liquid cooler later on down the line, but truthfully, I'm trying to build like a solid PC that won't have any issues, won't struggle, and there's like potential, like it's not always something that happens, but it can happen. There are sometimes issues where a liquid cooler will shut off, will stop running after being bought. Sometimes even a liquid cooler will leak. It's very rarely that will happen. Liquid cooling is far better than air cooling, and it really will cool your computer. And the maximum thermaling of a liquid cooler is farther than an air cooler. So air cooling has limitations, but for this type of build with this type of CPU, it's not going to work. We don't have to worry about that. This is kind of overkill, and it's because it's not like it's a i9 14900K, so he's not going to have like thermal throttling problems, so we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about his CPU melting out of his motherboard. Okay, this is the contact frame we're going to be using, the back frame. It'll be put in the back, so let me quickly do that. It's a pretty simple job. Okay, perfect. Look at that. Look at that. That's perfect. Look at that, that's beautiful. Okay, now we just need to put on I need to find the right screws, because it's in this box. I need to find the right ones, attach it to here, so that then we can start, then we have that set up, so that when we start applying the CPU fans and everything, we'll be ready with that. Okay, we have almost everything that we need. Let me just quickly put on the little blue things. This is for the contact frame, or not the contact frame, but the frame for the fan. The CPU fan. I'm having a brain fart. So now let me see. Because I accidentally threw away the manual, so I need to quickly a little bit figure it out. I forgot. So let me see. Let me quickly put this on. So the CPU fan that I'm using, let me see if I can align this. Yeah, I got it. The CPU fan that I'm using is a Peerless Assassin 120 SE CPU fan. It's considered a very, very decent CPU fan, and it is considered really, really good. Perfect. Now for the top part. Same thing. We do this, do that. I wonder if anyone's gonna like chew me out in the comments section, like, oh, I'm building a PC wrong, blah blah blah. I'm not. Like, I've built multiple computers multiple times. This is not my first rodeo. Granted, also, don't throw away manuals and stuff like that, because I threw the manual away for this, which is not a good thing. But this is how it's done, and thankfully I remember how to do it. So we'll do a little bit of gentle screwing, continue gentle screwing, and then once it's like kind of we can't do it anymore, we'll start screwing it in. Okay, it should be good. It should be good enough. We can start screwing it in actually. So now I grab my tools. But yeah, this is really nice that I'm actually doing this for a friend of mine. He's a good person. Like I said, he's been through a lot, and I feel very bad for him. Crap, I can't get my tools, my tools out. I'm having trouble. God damn it. Okay, jeez. Don't do what I'm doing. Like, I have strong hands that really like lock on to stuff. So never have like your toolkit above your motherboard, because you don't want it dropping on your motherboard. Don't ever do what I'm doing with that. Always have it to the side. Currently, I'm doing a educational kind of somewhat informative PC build on how to build a PC. So I have to kind of like show some of the stuff a little bit, but don't ever put anything above your motherboard that if it dropped or it slipped out of your hands, it could cause damage to like some capacitors or resistors or anything like that. Never do anything like that. Okay, a little bit of tightening. little bit of tightening on this side. Like I said, not too tight that you might break your motherboard, but enough that there's like resistance, like that. There's resistance, a little bit of resistance, resistance. There you go. Perfect. Oh, what? What? This is magnetic. Oh no, we have a problem. Oh no, that's okay. Gentle. Oh no, did my magnet fall? Wait, this is a magnetic screwdriver. Hold on. This is insane. What the hell happened? Okay, gentle. Oh my god. The little magnet that's at the bottom of it's gone. Oh, that's bad. That means that there's a tiny little magnet somewhere around my home that I don't even know where the hell it is. Oh god, that's terrible. God damn, they don't make cheap Chinese like they used to. Okay. So everything's done. Everything's done pretty much at this point. So now we're going to bring out the PC case. So let me quickly do that. I need to clear out this area now, because this table is way too small. All right, so this is what we're working with. It's a fairly decent Thermaltake fan case. It's a little bit older. It's a little bit older. This is actually, funny enough, my old PC case. I'm giving him my old PC case as like passing down from one generation to the next, because this is the case that I started with on my YouTube channel. That like this was the first gaming PC that I ever got, and like I slowly built it over time, and I went from having like this case to a slightly better, newer case. So it's a nice hand-me-down, passed from one generation to the next. It's so old. There's actually still one of those disk drive things, which hasn't been used in such a long time. I actually have plans for this. I'm not going to explain what the plans are, but I have plans for what I'm going to use this for him. Now, when it comes to PC building, you also want good airflow. So up here, there's two Arctic fans. These are supposed to push hot air out. So these are pulling air from the case out and out here. This is also there's a fan on the wall here. This is also designed to push hot air out on the back, and there's going to be a fan at the bottom of the case that pushes cold air in, because there's no, sadly, fans on the front that will push cold air into the case, unfortunately. So we have to rely on bottom fan. So let me quickly clean out the case. Okay, we did it. We cleaned it out a little bit. There's still a little bit of some, oopsie, accidentally hit the camera. There's still a little bit of some dust, a little bit. That's, even though with a can of air spray, it didn't fully blow out. Okay, we're gonna quickly cable manage everything and get all the cables away from the motherboard that are not supposed to be used yet. So we'll just shove it in the back here to prevent it from becoming a burden. Okay. Now, let me blow out it a little bit more. Okay, now we attach this. This is the, I forget what the hell this is called, but this is supposed to be attached to the wall of the case. Every motherboard's different. Every motherboard comes with this, so you attach it to the back. Okay, now for the most important part. Slotting the motherboard. Do it nice and gently. Okay, we don't want these cords under here, so we gotta move that up. Okay, then we're gonna slot it nice and gently. Unfortunately, I've noticed something. So here's a problem with cases like this. With cases like this, sometimes you will have to remove the top fans, and I've just noticed that there's not enough space here for now, so I have to temporarily remove the top fans and then put the top fans back in later on. That's the pros and cons, sadly, of the newer PC cases. Even though somewhat it's expensive, it has more space and room, unlike this, which is unfortunate. So let me quickly unscrew this. All right, so I've temporarily moved out those fans. Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate that newer cases have more space than these older cases, which sucks. Another reason, like, this is kind of like also a budget build for him, because like he stated like he doesn't care when it comes to gaming computers about like ultra settings. So this is legitimately just a budget build for him that he can slowly upgrade as time goes by, and it's a good start. It's better than nothing. And sadly, none of the other friends could help out with like giving me funds to help build him a computer. So like I can't like throw thousands of dollars to like get him, like, for example, a decent AMD CPU, because like, for example, I already recently upgraded my computer, so I'm flat out broke completely. So pretty much like I'm giving him a decent solid computer that he'll definitely be able to play games on, but it's not like super ultra ultimate edition whatevers. I also noticed I fucked up. I also noticed I absolutely messed up. Let me take the motherboard out. One problem about these frames is I keep forgetting which one's which. Like which one's I accidentally inverted it. I put it like this. Always make sure that this is always at the top. These are at the bottom. Okay, good. Now all the BS is done. Oh my god, I like how I did the rookie ass move, accidentally installing the frame backwards. Okay, perfect. Look at that, solid, perfect. Now the scary thing is, can I put the fans here? Because I really want to put those fans for just extra airflow. I'm really worried about that. I'm gonna have to see, and I can't install the fans yet, because I need to install a power supply for this. And currently, I cannot install the power supply yet on this. So context for that, I currently have a decent power supply for him, but I'm not going to be using it because it's not as good. What I'm going to be giving him is a 750 watt EVGA gold standard that is a part of my system that I'm going to be replacing very soon. I'm going to be putting my old power supply that I've taken very good care of and giving it to him, which will be very decent power. And the fact that it's also gold plus is going to be good as well. So currently I can't like put the fans on because I had to put the connectors here. So yeah, it's gonna be a problem. I can't even put the CPU fan on, so that's gonna be problematic as well. But what I can do is I can screw all these in right now. I would have definitely upgraded my friend so that he would be decked out and wouldn't have to like upgrade his PC in a very, very long time. But like I said, everything's way too expensive at the moment, and I currently upgraded my PC and I can't like afford it right now, so it's unfortunate. Not to also mention, even though I have monetization on YouTube, it's only the first part, and I'm not making enough money to be able to save up to be able to give him a gaming computer. So it's like, it's unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, so much I can do, but The fact that I'm doing this for him and I tried my hardest to like give him a decent PC, it's better than nothing. And like he actually stated, he doesn't care if it can't run 4K 200 FPS on ultra settings. He's not one of those like supreme ultra master race PC people. He wants just a decent PC that he can play games with his friends, because that's the problem with console is consoles have heavy limitations. Crossplay is very terrible. Very few games actually have crossplay. Some games are just terrible on Xbox in general. Like for example, he can't play Java Edition Minecraft, and he can only play Bedrock Edition, and Bedrock keeps corrupting. And PC's variant doesn't do that at all, or at least rarely does that. I've never had a corruption in my life, so it's unfortunate for him. So it's a nice upgrade. It's definitely, this PC is going to be definitely a nice upgrade for him, and he'll be able to like play more games, play a lot of independent like indie games. Like PC's got a lot more going for it than Xbox or even PlayStation. Like I don't want to offend anyone, but like in my opinion, like I don't know what the craze of consoles are. I don't know why people buy consoles. Consoles are terrible. Like console people have even made tons of excuses like, oh, you gotta update your drivers and stuff like that. No, you really don't. It's actually very simple to update your drivers. And don't you like have to update, you have to update like your firmware of your like consoles here and there and your games. So it's no different than that. So it's like console people make excuses. The only thing consoles going for is its exclusivities. Remove that and like it would be over with. He's also going to have very decent storage. I'm going to give him a 1 terabyte M.2 right here, another 1 terabyte M.2, and 2 terabytes of storage. One hard drive that's going to be 1 terabyte, and one SSD that's going to be here that's going to be 1 terabyte. The M.2s are going to be for like hit Epic Games and Steam stuff, specifically online and live service games, because M.2s are faster for that. This hard drive is going to be for his operating system. I trust hard drives with operating systems more than SSDs because life expectancy of some SSDs are really terrible, while hard drives can last for a very, very long time. Yes, starting up Windows is a little bit slower than with an SSD, but I have more faith in a hard drive than an SSD because, for example, my recent hard drive from PYN, it's only been a year old and it's already dead. That's unfortunate. It died. So I don't trust SSDs, M.2s, and I trust hard drives too, especially this brand new 500 gig hard drive. So it's going to be solid for him. It's going to be solid. Okay, well, that's pretty much everything I can do at the moment. I would apply thermal paste, put thing on there, but I don't have the power supply. I do have a okay power supply, but it's not, in my opinion, good. But let me actually simulate what the air cooler is going to be like once it's unattached. Okay, so let me hypothetically test this. Yeah, it works perfectly. Yeah, it looks good. Now, hypothetically, don't have too much leeway here to be able to like, yeah. I can definitely put the fans. I can put the fans. I do have space for the fans, so that's positive. That's a positive. Okay, so yeah, no, everything is pretty solid. Everything's solid. I still need to screw in here, screw here, and screw back there. I need to get a magnetic screwdriver because it's a nightmare. My magnetic screwdriver is completely broken because of the stupid, I don't know what happened. I think I can screw in this one at least. So I need to get a good screwdriver with a magnet so I can put that last screw right there. Then after that, we gotta get a power supply. We need to start attaching all the SSDs, but we'll do that later on. First, we gotta hook this up, get Windows 11, get the activation license, get all of that. Put these top fans. So there's a lot of stuff to do. So we're gonna take a short break. This has been fun. We gotta take a short break, so see you guys in like a few days from now. Oh my god, Furgotti completely changed his face. What happened? Oh, that's what happened. Well, the transition. There was a transition. I got the power supply that I needed in the graphics card. Upgraded my old power supply, my old graphics card, and now I'm going to be giving my friend my old power supply and a graphics card that I'm not going to spoil. Okay, here we have the power supply. It's a good old EVGA, good old reliable. Gold standard, used a power supply tester on it. It is very decent, still works very good. So what we do is we just pop in here like so. Ooh, it is a beefy boy. I thought I could put a bottom fan down here for air cooling, but apparently not. Yep, unfortunate. The power supply is too big, so it will... That's unfortunate. So... yeah. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I really gotta give it to Antec. I really love that they gave a literal PC kit for PCs. I also got a screwdriver, an actual solid screwdriver. Okay, that's one. But yeah, we're the PC's coming together. We're very close to the conclusion. There's just a few little things to add, and then we're done with the PC. Okay. Now this is going to be the hardest part, cable management. Ignore that beam. Ignore that beam. That's I guess a ghost. Oh no. It's a ghost. But yeah, I need the light. I need the light to be able to do cable management, because now we're going to put the PC vertically. All right, so now we're going to start applying all the cables to the PC. So I cleaned the frame. It's kind of crazy that the frame is already slightly dirty again, even though I literally cleaned it just a few days ago. Insane. Okay, so first of all, we're going to put in the 16-bit connector. You gotta put it in nice and tight. Yeah, you gotta put this connector in nice and tight. There we go. Yeah, so here's where the connector is. It's really sucks how dark my room is, but yeah, here's where the connector is. So the connector's right here. So you gotta put it in nice and tight. And now we're gonna cable management it. We're gonna try to like put the cables in. Perfect. It's doing great. Okay, everything's going pretty well. So now, oh yeah, that's another thing I should have told people. So whenever you're buying a power supply, always make sure to go for a good variant. Like, never cheapen out on a power supply. That is the most important thing to have. It is a good power supply, because that thing is the thing that will produce electricity for all your equipment. And if there's like a short surge or a circuit, it can destroy everything. So always be very, very careful. Always use the cords that it came with. Always be very careful. Because yeah, if pretty much something happens, you're dumb out of luck. So yeah. This power supply, even though being used, and I'm giving to my friend for his PC build, it's a very decent power supply. And I've only used it for a little bit of time, and I've like taken really good care of it. Yeah, for modular power supplies, you actually have to put in the cords instead of the cords being like built in. And you gotta make sure that they're nice and snug, like nice and tight in there. Like you hear the clip, and they're nice and tightly in there. Okay, this is going good. Okay, unfortunately for the CPU power supply, there's a back part where I can like put a cable in there, but at the same time, it's not really easy to like get the cable like removed. Like for example, let's say my friend wants to change out the power supply. He asks us to change out the cable. So if I put the cable in the back for the CPU, I have to unscrew the motherboard. So the cable is going to have to be loosely attached. Well, not loosely attached, but like not cable managed where it's in the back of the PC. This should be actually a good photo. Now you can see both the front and the back. I could actually fit it. Let me see. I think I can fit it. Possibly, I could fit it vertically, I think. Or not vertically, but aesthetics-wise, it's not too pleasing. Like, I tried doing that. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Sometimes it's just better just to play it safe, legitimately, in my opinion. And I don't trust that cable in the back. And also, it should be better. It should be ease of access. Like, it's a little bit difficult. Okay, pretty much all the other cables we can put in a moment. Yeah, sorry if the camera video is dark. Like I said, I don't have good equipment. I'm not made of money. I'm not Scrooge McDuck. Okay, now we're going to do something really important, which is apply thermal paste and the heat thing on the CPU. The heat sink on the CPU. So I want to do a little confession. So I got rid of my manual for my CPU heat cooler. So I didn't know how you install it. So before I applied anything, you always want to do a test run of something just in case, you know, something is wrong. And that's what I did. And turns out these were backwards. So I had to unscrew these. And instead of this facing this way, this faces inward. So that's why you always want to like do a test run of like simulation of what you want to do before you do it, just to make sure like everything's decent and okay. So let's do this now. So for applying thermal paste, you want to like apply a good amount and you want to do the P method. There's a lot of methods out there, but the best method for a lot of people is the P method. Okay, where you put it in the center. Like there's the line method, there's the X method, but the P method is considered the best. When it comes down to each method, everyone has a difference in opinion, but most people agree that the P method is the best one. All right, now you start screwing in. Now you want to start evenly doing distribution of screwing so that it doesn't create an air pocket. And it does like an even spread. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's how I do it. I usually tighten it by threes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You want to really make that even distribution on the thermal paste. You don't want any air pockets or anything like that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this one's nice and snug and tight. So I need to start tightening this one. Okay, nice. It's nice and tight. And there's enough ease for your hand for the putting in the power supply, or not power supply, the CPU fans. Okay, now we have the power supply fans. I mean, not the power supply fans. I'm getting tired. We have the CPU fans. Okay, let's put one there. a little bit of a messy experience. Okay, so let me see. How do I want to do this? I want the cables to be this way. Yeah, I don't want the cables to be. So let me yeah. No, yeah, no. This way. This way. We want it this way. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, that's the hardest part, in my opinion, is those fans. Those fans are so tight. Yep, they're tightly latched on there. They're perfectly safe. So now I need to plug in this. And it is. Okay, it's nice and plugged in. Good. Good. Okay, we're almost done. We're now just need to start plugging in most of the cables that exist. Okay, we gotta put in HD audio and the AC 91, or sorry, 97. These are not so hard to like screw up. These cables you usually put at in the bottom pins of your motherboard, and you'll put them in the right spot because the pins at the bottom of the motherboard are very they're very unique. Each one is individually unique, so the chances of you accidentally putting it into the wrong one is like highly improbable. But usually these ones, the audio ones, they're usually far over here. We'll see, because actually there's some little bit of like very small lettering that tells you what these are. Not all motherboards have that, but some do with the labeling. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. Not too bad. Okay, the next one is the VC USB 1, USB 1 Plus, and the GD. Okay, we put that, the GDD and VSB down at the bottom. And now for the last part, the hardest part. Well, it's not the last part, but it's one of the hardest parts, and I might as well get it done right now. These cables, these are absolutely, oh my god, it still has one of these for helping people. These cables are these little stripy things. These are the worst cables in existence. People hate these cables. And newer desktops, a lot of them don't have this like weird color stripped BS, so people don't really have to deal with this problem anymore. But originally, back in the past, you had to figure out which one went to where, and it goes specifically into this one right here. But I need to figure out which one's which, so let's do that. And I'm just gonna look it up. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna look it up. It's a terrible piece of technology. Yeah, this is the nightmare about it, is you sometimes gotta look it up. And for this case, you gotta look up your motherboard and see what your motherboard's cable connectors are, because it can be different, and that's the big problem. So I'm currently looking at what it is for this specific motherboard. And I think I actually have it. Let's see. So power LED. So let's see, which one's power LED? That's reset SW, power SW, HHLED, power LED, these ones. Okay, so we do power LED first, which is the most annoying one because instead of it being, it's separated for some reason. I hate these. So they're separated. Okay, so this is positive, this is negative. The white one's negative. So positive goes to the farthest right, negative goes to the, okay. Okay, good. Good. Okay, next one is the power switch. Power switch, which is SW. This one goes right here next to it. It goes right next to it on the top. Okay. Then you want the reset switch to be at the bottom under. No. Let's do the HUD first, the HHD. Okay, done. We're done. I absolutely hated that. So yeah, so it's weird. So pretty much yes. So resets at the top. HUD is under reset. So yeah, so power's at the top. The HUD one's at the bottom of the power. I really hate these cables. Like nowadays, most like I said, desktops have the ability to just be a single pin that you just connect in, like my case. But unfortunately, this one does not, which sucks, which really is unfortunate. Okay, we put the brick in. We've put like we put the brick from, you know, that nickname that one dude from The Verge called it. I mean, technically it is a brick. If you throw it at someone, it's gonna crack their skull open. We got the brick in, we got the fans, we got the CPU, we got the thermal paste. Everything's going good. We're almost done. Now I need to put this cord in, this little cord. Okay, now I just need to put this little cord in. We're almost done. Yeah, you always want to make sure that thing's nice and tight in there. Okay, not bad. Everything's going good. Okay, let's start also putting the power supply SATA connectors together. I'm gonna quickly put that in, and we'll put the hard drive. This hard drive is a very solid hard drive. That's going to be used for that's going to be used as the operating system. It's brand new, it's strong, it should be very sturdy. Okay, nice. We did some decent cable management. I'm gonna zip tie those little twisty tie ones because they're annoying. Okay, now let me put in the SATA connector. Okay, it's starting to look nice. The cable management is a little bit iffy in my opinion, but what can you do when you have a kind of a computer that's a little bit old? Okay, now for the final part. We have the hard drive in. We're gonna give him 2 SSDs later on, one right here, but that's for later on. SSD installation is not that hard. You just slap it in. You unscrew this screw right here, slap in the SSD, bend it also gently that it touches the hexagon nut, and then screw it in, and then put the screw back in. That's it. So yeah, so that's not gonna be a bad problem. But yeah, so far the entire PC looks solid. It looks like a very good basic beginner PC, and since, you know, like I said, he's not made of money and he's been through a lot in his life and he really cannot like upgrade for a long time, this is like a good enough starting PC for him to like get into like video gaming on PC, because let's be honest, Xbox is garbage. Unfortunately, the EVGA 1080 Founders Edition graphics card that I was going to give him, or no, it wasn't a Founders Edition, sorry, it's the EVGA 1080 for the win, is unfortunately completely obsolete thanks to Jensen Huang incentivizing people to buy RTX. So now what I have to do is I have to give him this. Solid graphics card. When applying a graphics card, you want to like gently slot it in until you hear clicking, which I just heard. Apply a little more pressure just to see if you did it, and that's it. That's perfectly it. We just put the screws in and pretty much we're done. Okay. Okay, now we just put this last back plate on. It is looking beautiful. Minus some of the iffy cable management, but it looks sleek, it looks solid, it looks good. Now all we need to do is just finish up the bit of cable management, get a solid PCIe cable for him, and we're pretty much set. We're pretty much done. I'm so happy actually that I built this PC for him, because like I said, my friend's been through a lot of stuff and a lot of horrible human beings have been in his life, and you know, me doing this has been really good, because it gives him the ability to know that there's still good people out there, good people that would help him, good people that like care about him. And like, I put in a lot of pain and suffering and sacrifice, especially a lot of sacrifice on my part, more than you guys will ever know, to like do this for him, do this nice thing for him. And even though it's like sad that, you know, so many people have hurt him in his life, including some people that I'm not going to talk about, she knows who she is. She's been on the channel a couple of times. Doing this is a nice nice thing, and I'm so happy. Now, downsides though is I wish I had a lot more money, because I would give him a way better computer. Like, I would give him a very solid high-end computer, but this is a great basic beginner computer. I wish also I could have given him a better case, because this case is a little too small, a little too cramped. Him dismantling it to troubleshoot if there's any issues ever is going to be kind of a nightmare for him. I'm super sorry about that ahead of time. But this video I tried to make as entertaining and educational as possible for both people who are new to PC building and also him, since he'll be also using this as a way to understand how to, you know, troubleshoot his own computer. But yeah, it's pretty much finished, and I'm super duper thankful for all of you who've watched throughout the years. If you're a person who's subscribed, if you're new, if you're an old person who's watched, because of your support of this channel and because of, you know, all the things that you guys have given me on as a YouTuber, it's helped me so much to like do good deeds for people, like for a friend of mine, and it means a lot to me, and I can't like thank you guys enough. And I'm sorry if this video was a little bit bad quality because of my webcam or face, or maybe my camcorder that's like really crap. But I try my hardest to make as good of content as possible and as good of a video, kind of being informative on how to build a PC. But pretty much we're done. All we have to do is kind of just set it all up, install Windows 11, which is not that hard. You just shove a USB in with like Windows 11 or 10, and then like update it, and then you're set. You're completely set. So yeah, I'm super happy. I can't believe we did it. Okay, pretty much we're done. We're completely done. There's nothing else to do besides close the back panels, and that's it. Once again, thank you everyone for all the support and helping me build this computer. I'm sorry if I wasn't that like entertaining or goofy. I was just kind of like I'm terrible at multitasking. But yeah, this is how you build a computer. This is probably my 5th computer I've built. So yeah. Okay, well, there's nothing else to do. There's nothing else. I'm just gonna close it up, and that's it. Let's show a ending result. Yep, it works. It posted. Okay, and also the temperatures are great. The CPU core temperature is 29 Celsius right now. Yep, we did it. Okay, that's it. Thanks everyone for being a part of this. It's been great. We built my friend a computer, and I hope that he can have a ton of happy and joyous memories, and know that even though he's been screwed over a lot in his life by women, his own family members, and even egregiously horrible human beings that, in my opinion, should never have seen the like should never have been alive. At least he, you know, had this happen to him, where a good person, well, I wouldn't say I'm a good person. I'm not a good person, but I try to do as good deeds as I can. But an okay person, you know, doing something out of the kindness of their heart for free, and just giving them a full gaming computer when they don't have one. Anyway, it's been fun. I'm super thankful for all of you for support. I'm super thankful for everyone being here, watching the channel. Pretty much thank you for helping me build this computer. Without you guys, I probably would have never been able to build this computer, and even, you know, give something this nice to a friend who deserves it. Alright, I have to end it here. I'll see all of you next video. See ya!